Hey folks, Skippy the Townie here. Back at the spot I came to a few weeks ago. I got good gold out of about half a bucket. I wanted to come back and do some more panning, and it's close to hunting season. I really shouldn't be out here. I should be up to camp, but I got a plan this trip. So you can see the water's a lot higher than it was last time I was here. It's probably 2 to 3 feet higher. But the spot I was digging in, they're still available. There's still a ton of material there. All through here I could dig. I just dug half a bucket out from underneath that big rock last time. Doesn't look like anybody's been digging in there. Not that I would care if they were. It's just, as far as I know, this is public land, and anybody can come here and play around. There's plenty of gravel. But that goes down probably another foot or two from this rock down, and then all this gravel in here is packed up in. It's sandwiched between this sloping bedrock and this bedrock. I'm not sure what it does, if it goes straight down. So some old cable there, but yeah, I'm gonna move this material, these bigger rocks, and instead of buying a lot of pay dirt this winter for doing it at home when I'm all snowed in, I've got 8 5-gallon buckets up there. I'm going to classify down 8 5-gallon buckets and take them home. I also have my 2 regular green buckets I normally work with. I'll fill those buckets with classified material and get them up to the car. I got to get them up that hill somehow without falling on my head. I fell twice last time I was here. I didn't have it on video, but I ate it twice. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to fill 8 buckets. I've got them numbered. Throughout the winter, maybe I'll pull short videos. I can set up a recirculating sluice in my shop or my basement and give me something to do where I'm not going stir crazy, cabin fever, wishing I had some gold or some dirt to prospect. But I'll get started. All right, I got some of these bigger rocks moved out of the way. That one big hunk of concrete almost set me into the river. I tried pulling back on it. A piece came off my hand. I thought I was going for a swim, which you can't really see through the water, but that's pretty deep right there, and the water's high. There's a lot of current. I bet you that's 10 feet deep in the middle. So if I went there, I don't know if I'd skitter along the top or get skittered along the bottom, but either way, it's nothing I want any part of. But got bucket number 1 here. Let's see here, I think I labeled them. Yep, bucket number 1. I did a test pan right there where the shovel is. There were some roots along the bedrock, so I don't know if I got the gold in there, but I got 5-6 little micros. You know, it wasn't a big deep test pan, but it was enough. So I'll fill a bucket from that spot, and that'll be bucket number 1. Okay, bucket number 1 is filled. It's actually settling. It's pretty soupy right now. I wasn't too smart in planning this out because I didn't bring any lids for these buckets, and I didn't drive my Jeep. I'm going to be throwing these in the back of my SUV, so hopefully I can get a lot of this water out of here before putting it in my vehicle. If not, then maybe I'll be getting it detailed or something, or somehow cleaned up. But anyhow, on to bucket number 2. And bucket number 2, I followed this bedrock down with one, a little lip here, it drops down, can't get that out. I'm going to continue underneath this rock a little ways. There's a big root right here I chopped out with the shovel, and I believe that big piece of rock, yeah, that'll move and come out of there. And I'm going to keep going underneath there. So bucket number 2 will come out from underneath that rock as much as I can get. Okay, I got 2 buckets full. Second bucket I didn't fill up as much as the first one because I had a lapse in judgment and did not bring lids. I'm still getting material out from underneath this rock. I've been throwing 5-gallon buckets of water up in there to wash it down, and I did a test pan and I had 5 little tiny specks in there, so there's still good material. I've been washing it down from up in the very back down into this hole I dug earlier, so I'll dig that out, and that will be bucket number 3. Okay, bucket number 3 is done. That's as full as I'm going to go. I leave it laying on its side. Hopefully a lot of that water will leach out of there, because it is not fun trying to go up this hill carrying those buckets. They're heavier than I imagined, or maybe I'm just getting old, I don't know. But it's slick as heck and not fun. So I've been taking this bucket, filling it with water, and throwing it up in here. Wash all this bedrock out. Heck of a time getting the rock out of there. This big flat one still isn't moving yet, but it's still got a lot on it. I'm going to keep going. Bucket number 4 is going to come out of here. A lot of this material I've been washing off that is all settling down. You can't see it under this water, but it's there. So go ahead and fill bucket number 4. After I'm done bucket number 4, I think I'm going to take a break and explore a little bit and maybe do a pan. I want to see some gold in a pan, and then I'll get back to it. Hopefully I'll get as many buckets as I can done before leaving today. If not, well, I've got at least 3. So let me get to it. Okay, bucket number 4 is done. Letting the water leach out. I'm actually only about 3/4 of a bucket, but that's what I'm going with. Still haven't gotten that big flat rock out, but I'm filling buckets with it. I'm actually going to take a break. There's so many spots to check here that I want to put some gold in the pan, and then I'll go back to filling these buckets. So come over here. Make sure I don't fall on this slick rock here. This is all bedrock. This is bedrock with moss on it. You can see these quartz stringers all through it, although I don't think that's where the gold is coming from. I think it's all glacial gold. Ooh. But I come off of these down and I come to this big crack here, and if I follow this crack down, I imagine this whole big rock is loose. It's massive. This thing's bigger than a truck. But I come down here and it seems to be building up down in the bottom, so I'm going to dig this out. I'm going to pan it down and see what I got. Got a few inches of material in the bottom of this bucket. Let's see. what we find in it. A bit of material there. Camera will pick that up. There is roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 specks in there, maybe more. All little tiny stuff, but not a bad little test. Alright, I finished a little bit that was left in that green bucket. I did 2 pans. They were heaping pans. And out of that little crevice I dug out the bottom, but this is what I got out of the rest of that material. Camera doesn't really focus on the micros, but there are 4 bigger pieces and probably about 20 specks in there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dig bucket number 5 out of a little spot down there where my classifier is. Let's see what I get. It was mostly black sands. That's going to be a miserable bucket to carry up this hill, but we'll get on it. Okay, so I got this spot cleaned out for bucket number 5. Got right down and scrape that out. Used a hand dredge to suck up the small gravels. I didn't have too much in the bucket. I washed some of this down. I'm not getting into that mess up there. So I came over here and there was a good clump. Moss and grass and dirt all stuck down in there, so I dug that out and added it to it, and I wound up with about a half a bucket of material. So bucket number 5, my pile of personal hell over there going up this hill is going to be from these 2 spots, about a half a bucket of material. All right, I think I'm going to do 1 more bucket. I'm not going to have 8 full buckets, but I'm going to go ahead and put material in bucket number 6 back from under this big rock. I've been chasing that bedrock and I know it goes down further than I'm going to get today, but I'll get at least 1 more bucket out of there, and then I got to haul the rest of this gear up the hill and into the vehicle and get home. Alright, here's what I got out of well, let me get some shade here. There is shade. How I'm not getting any shade. There we go. That was out of the 2 test pans from that spot over there where I took half a bucket, bucket number 5, and 1 test pan where I was digging the majority of the day. That was buckets 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Not bad. I mean, that was probably half a bucket of material. I worked to get that, so who knows what I'll find in those buckets. This area is just great, really. I'm looking around and I don't think anybody's dug here in a while. I got these trees coming down this hill and the dirt washing down here to where I'm at, But the more I look around, there's a lot of established moss. And I notice this tree right here. This is there. This has been growing there a long time and dead a long time. So I bet you this gravel has probably never been touched. Not to say that it's super rich gravel, but there's a lot of it here, and there's probably gold in all of it. So I'm gonna finish lugging the rest of this gear up the hill, and then I'm heading home. I'm tired, beat, wet, dirty, and time to go see my pup. So my end total for the day is a little bit of gold I showed you from the 3 test pans, and these buckets of material. This was number 1 because I filled it up high to the top. The water keeps leaching up, and I'll pour that off. But 6 buckets, maybe 4.5 to 5 if I was to consolidate them to full buckets. I'm not going to do that because it's going to spill out, and my vehicle's kind of squatting a little bit. Normally I don't squat that much. I maybe should have taken the Jeep or something. So I'm gonna carry a little more weight, but this will make it. Hope I don't get in no accident and have 300 pounds of dirt come flying at me. Have a good day, guys.